What's poppin'? Today we're going to be going over my PK Orcust deck list. This is the deck I'll be using in my remote locals tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how I do with that. Probably pretty poorly because I'm not that good at Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to test out this deck before buying all the cards, I'll leave a list, a DB list in the description. Check it out there. If you like the video, hit me with a like. If you don't, that's fine too. I still hope you have a good day. Let's hop into the list. To get started, we have our Orcust package. 3 Girsu, 3 Nightmare, 2 Symbol, 1 Wand, 2 Orchestrated Return, 1 Babel, 1 Crescendo. The general rule with this list is we have a lot of cards that are good in the graveyard, and we have a lot of cards to get them out of our hand. So the 2 return I think are really nice, and this deck has a decent amount of draw power, so I really like having the return. Again, get these Orcusts out of hand, draw a couple cards, and it's really good ash bait. For some reason, people love ashing Orchestrated Return. Like, you discard Nightmare, and they'll ash it, and then you just still go plus, because it's crazy. Like, return is this, the side effect really is getting the Orcust out of your, or the side effect is drawing 2. The main effect is actually getting those cards out of your hand. We have 3 Torn Scale, 2 Boots, 2 Cloak, 3 Fog Blade, and 1 Shade. Torn Scale is great, one for getting cards out of our hand that we don't want. It's also great for, you know, just plussing in general, getting a Phantom Knight monster on board so that you can special summon Boots as an extender. Just an all-around great card. Gives good recursive ability by being able to just special summon itself from the grave, which is awesome. And it being searchable with Cloak is also pretty great. I don't run any of the other Phantom Knights monsters because this is mostly just an engine that synchronizes well because we can use Rusty, and also because it helps get our Orcusts out of our hand. Some good one-ofs: Grepher, Rhoda, I mean, pretty standard. Free special summon if you have like Nightmare or Wand in hand. This searches Grepher or it searches Scale. Foolish, great card. What else is there to say? Reborn, just another really good generic extender. The Secret Spice, 3 Perform Pal Popper Up. It sounds a little bit wacky because it's a -1 and it burns you a lot. But again, like, there's so many cards that we don't want in our hand that we're going to end up drawing because that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works. So, you know, like there was one time, for instance, I go Popper Up, discard Nightmare, discard Wand, discard Cloak. I draw 3 cards, which is drawing 3 cards. Like, what else could you possibly want? And then I also go plus off of the Nightmare, plus off of the Wand, plus off of the Cloak. Like, it's just a crazy card. Yeah, you'll take some burn damage, but really, so what? Hand traps. This is still like a pretty new meta, so I just went with some tried and true. 3 Gamma, Driver, best card in the deck, 3 Nib, and 3 Ash. So just pretty generic. These will get switched up as the meta develops. I'm kind of liking Imperm right now, so I might switch something out for Imperm, but we will see. So that is the main deck. Let's go on to our extra deck. We've got 1 Rusty, Boss Man. You can go so plus with him. Link Kribo is mostly just necessary for Girsu combos. Unicorn, Borg, Boral Sword because I'm too broke for access code. IP Masquerena. We're running double Gal and 1 Long. Long is like the most expendable part of the extra deck, but I don't know what to switch him for. I very rarely go into him, but he can be nice for non-targeting sends, but I'm not a huge Long guy. 2 Ding, One Almirage. This is just to get our Phantom Knights off the board. If you just open really poorly and you need to get, like, if the only monster you can summon is Boots, just summon Boots, link it for Almirage. At least you can get a Fog Blade. Try and stay alive for a turn. Breaksword is really cool. Helps pop cards, like both with its own effect and also in conjunction with Rusty. You can also, of course, use it, special summon a couple monsters from the grave. Really good card. Dante, which seems really weird, but I'm really liking Dante. It's another way if you have a bad hand, but if you're able to just get 2 level 3s on board, which isn't usually too hard, you can mill, hope for the best, or if going second, summon Dante, attack, go into this guy, Zeus. Any deck that has any potential for incorporating Zeus probably should. And it's a really good card in this deck. Like, again, going second, it's just so good. Because we can so often get just 2 level 3s on board, crash into something, and then just drop Zeus on them. And yeah, Zeus is just such a crazy card. You may as well throw it in if you can. So that's the list. The side deck, of course, is very much meta and your local meta dependent. So I'm not going to show that. But we will now hop into some test hands. Of course, combos are all well and good, but if you're never able to pull those combos off because your deck is inconsistent, what good are they really going to do you? So that is why I am a bigger proponent of test hands. So let's hop into a couple of test hands. I feel like we're pretty well shuffled up here. Okay. Torn Scale, Cloak, Fog Blade, Popper Up, and Return. Okay, this is not bad. This is not bad. If we get into a pinch, like if we get hand trapped, using Popper Up even to discard Fog Blade plus Return could be okay, but we have a starter, so that's huge. So of course, we're going to normal summon Torn Scale effect, discard the Cloak, and we would probably send, let's send Boots. Let's activate the Cloak effect, banish, and we will add Boots. We'll special summon the Boots, and then from here, it's up to you. If you like living life on the edge, you can do, just, exceed, go into Dante, mill 3, and see what happens. That's what I'm going to do. So as you can see, we're shuffling fair and square. I'm not going to pretend this deck is just godly. So we're shuffling. Let's exceed. Go into Dante effect. It's lovely that it detaches and mills for cost. So we'll detach the Torn Scale, mill 3, 1, 2, 3. See, y'all saw me shuffle. That's a good mill. If you couldn't tell, that is a good mill. So from here, what we would probably do, now we just go, I guess, straight into our Orcust plays, really. Let's go Nightmare. Send our World Wand. If we can find it, there she is. Activate Wand, special summon the Nightmare. Turn these 2 into Galatea. Galatea effect. And I will be the first guy to admit, I have a hard time distinguishing when I should go for Crescendo versus when I should go for Babel. I do really like having Babel when we have the Rusty on board, because that gives us extra pops. So that's what we're going to go for. It's also kind of matchup dependent. You know, some decks just have one major power card, and if you can stop them from using that power card, then Crescendo's best, but otherwise, a lot of times Babble's good. Anyway, from here, we'll go Boots effect to search. This will give us Fogblade, and that is going to trigger our Torn Scale, special summon Scale. Here we go into Rusty. Scale gets banished. Activate the Rusty. And from here, we'll probably just send another Torn Scale and set, I guess we'll set Shade. Yeah, we'll set Shade. That's probably fine. Now we go Symbol Banish, special summon Galatea. Overlay for Ding. One of my all-time favorite cards, if you couldn't tell. Ding effect to attach. Then we'll activate the Shade, bring Shade out, link these two into IP Masquerena. And then we set Fogblade, set double Fogblade. Oh, I forgot to set with, oh, no, never mind, I'm just a dingus. So we set double Fogblade, and we're good to go. So we've got IP as a interruption. We've got 2 Fogblades, right? So that's 3. Ding, special summon itself. F to send is 4. Rusty pops is another 1. And on top of that, we've got our engine going like really, really strong. This is like, no board is unbreakable, but this is a really good board. And my favorite thing about it is it's a mixture of monster effects and spell and trap. Like, this board doesn't outright lose to Dark Ruler because we still have, like, yeah, it'll eliminate 2 interruptions, but we still have, another 2 more interruptions. It has an outright lose to Harpy's Feather Duster. Like, again, we're still going to have some interruptions. Yeah, it's a pretty flexible and versatile board. So, yeah, that'll be the first combo. We'll go into one more. Okay, let's hop into another test hand. Again, we're giving it a nice, good shuffle here. This deck is a lot of fun. If you couldn't tell, I've got an affinity for Orcust, but I'm trying to incorporate some other decks and at least different Orcust variants. At least until they bring Heart back, then it's all Orcust all the time. Okay, let's see what we can do. So, Popper Up, Nib, Gamma, Fogblade, and Nib. This is not looking great. What we would do here, we would go Popper Up, discard double Nib Fogblade. That's the price of having to play hand traps. And draw 3. Nightmare. Nightmare. Ooh. Oof. Okay. We can make this work, but we're not drawing the best this time around. And again, this is full transparency. I could very easily cut this out, but sometimes decks aren't perfect. We'll activate Torn Scale, discard Nightmare. And with that, we will send a Cloak. Banish Cloak. To special summon, to add a Boots. Special summon Boots. And from here, we've got a few options. One thing we could do that might actually be the best choice here. Let's overlay these into Breaksword. We'll go Nightmare effect, target the break sword, send wand. Wand effect, special summon the Nightmare. Go into Galatea. Here we'll just say, yeah, we'll do Galatea, return the wand, activate Babel. Again, Crescendo can very well be used over Babel. It's very much matchup dependent and kind of playstyle dependent. Now we'll go Boots effect to add add a Fog Blade. Excuse me, I wandered away there for a second. That's going to trigger our turn scale. We'll turn these two into Rusty. Rusty effect. We'll send Cloak and set. Here is really a preference. If you want to, like, if you really want to kind of overextend, we could go for a wacky Fog Blade play, but we're just gonna play it nice and passive. Set the Fog Blade, and yeah, and then we activated Cloak. Yep, set the other Fog Blade, and this is not the most explosive board. But this is definitely stronger this meta versus the last meta. When Virtual World and Drytron were around, everything was hand effects and graveyards. But now it's primarily Dragon Link and some other rogue stuff. So like more on-field effects is what I'm getting at. So having two Fog Blades and this Fog Blade engrave that we could use to banish, special summon the Break Sword, and get a pop is gonna be okay a lot of times. Maybe not perfect, but the other benefit here being we can still, activate Nightmare, send on our opponent's turn, send Symbol, activate Symbol, and just, gain some advantage. Make sure we don't die because Gal is going to be pointing at Rusty. Use Gal's effect, maybe set a orchestrated return. That way we make sure our engine keeps going because we have the other Orcust Nightmare in the grave. But yeah, that was definitely a less ideal hand, but any hand that has like Torn Scale plus Nightmare, you can definitely make it work. So that's basically it. If you want more specific combos, let me know. If you want, I don't know, whatever else you want. If you have ideas for the deck, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't, that's okay too. I still hope you have a wonderful day. Alrighty, have a nice day. Bye.